good. I want you to try it, okay?
God, he's like, it's like it's poison. Why are you giving him that?
I don't know. But wait till the cat comes in.
Go
Morning, everyone.
Go ahead, try it.
Welcome to Toad TV. We are the Crafty Toads. I am Mary Beth. You can find me all over as Mary Beth 494.
I am Helen, and you can find me as Helen HG69. And I am distracted because we have given the dogs, our co-hosts, some new bribes, and Spike is never good with new. He has to and Mary Beth gave it to him, and it was rank poison, and he just like, ugh.
Why are you doing that?
But then he's slowly sniffing it, and now he has taken it off to his corner.
So we are taking bets as to how long it will take Drew to get through.
Drew is done.
I'm thinking a minute and a half. These are thick soup bone things from Rachel Ray. However, you only get 3 in a bag.
Really?
Well, they're big. I mean, they are big, but you only
Can
get
you
3.
cut them?
I don't think so.
So we only got 1 bag?
Yeah, we didn't know, so we only got 1 bag.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get more.
We'll have to get more. We're going out today because errands, always errands.
It's never just one.
And we always have to go spend money.
Well, yesterday we didn't spend a dime.
Yeah.
I was doing the accounting from yesterday, and I'm like, oh look, we didn't spend anything yesterday.
We
didn't make anything yesterday. We didn't spend anything yesterday, so that's a good thing.
An anomaly.
Yes.
I mean,
they make it so easy. I don't even have to leave the house to spend money.
I like to spend money. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm a spender, okay? I like to spend money. I like to buy things.
I'm very, very good at it.
Yes. Especially when it's not mine. Right. Okay, so we are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. Toad Hollow is our business. It is hand-dyed yarn and project bags for all different kinds of makers. And you can find that all over as Toad Hollow NJ. As I said, we are the Crafty Toads. You can find us on Ravelry as the Crafty Toads, on Instagram, and Facebook as the Crafty Toads.
All over the social medias. We are Toad Hollow NJ, and then we also have the Crafty Toads.
The Twitter, because we don't really
do the Twitter.
We don't do the Twitter.
We don't tweet.
We don't.
We don't do the tweeting.
But
that is it. You are done. That was a giant bone.
Yeah, no more. No more.
I don't even care if you bark. They can just listen to the song of your people.
All right, let's do admin stuff. We have a giveaway to do.
Yes, we had the March, that's the month we're in, right?
Yeah.
March Knit Crate giveaway, which we showed last week, and we did the random number generator.
The question was, what is your favorite spring flower?
And Yarn Rose 3, that's your Ravelry ID, Rosemary, she's in Illinois. She wins, and she says, I'll have to go with tulips, love tall ones with big blooms and blocks of color.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I love tulips, I really do.
I have always, it's like a bucket list thing to go to Holland to see the tulips.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Rosemary. Please get in touch with us on Ravelry and send us your address, and we will send it out.
Back when I was using Yankee Candle, they had a really, really good cut tulip one. I have now found that Yankee Candle gives me a tremendous headache.
You know, it's funny. Yankee Candle was so huge.
Right.
And it's like you couldn't have enough Yankee Candle. I had the fresh cut grass and the daffodils and the tulip. And now it's like physically makes me sick.
Yeah, it gives me such a headache. And we have gone over to soy candles, completely soy candles, because we find that we can burn those with no problem. So our favorite brand right now is 1803. We like those, the 1803 ones.
Because we did just find a new one on Etsy, but we have to burn it to see how it works.
Right, to see how it is. But the 1803 ones, we burned a couple of those and we really like those. All right, so that was that.
I think that's just about it with admin, right?
I think so. Shall we dive right in?
Yeah, I haven't got a ton of knitting. I've got a ton of cross stitch.
Okay, so knitting.
Not a lot of progress, period, but.
Yeah, knitting. Let's talk knitting.
Okay.
All right. How many knitting?
2.
Me too. All right.
I'll do socks first.
Okay.
We're both doing the same set of socks.
Socks. Here we go. Socks. Calvin and Hobbes coming through. We are both doing the Twinkling Trees by Danielle Jorge. And that is Danny from Little Bobbins.
I have to tell you, this was not my favorite thing in the world to knit. I'm almost done the trees on my second stocking. I
I like the way they look.
They're very pretty, and for a Christmas Eve cast on, they're perfect, but
That's what they're supposed to look like right there.
And I can explain part of why they're not my favorite.
I had a couple of things with them. I mean, I am to the point where I have just started my toes. I thought I was going to be done. I really thought I was going to be finished. I was going to show a pair of finished socks.
You get to the toe and you think, I'm almost done. I'll just finish them before the podcast. The toes take quite a long time.
They do.
There's quite a bit of knitting in a toe.
Also, I found that measuring from the heel, I was having a really hard time figuring out where to measure from the heel. You would think that it would be, you know, like right here or something like that, because that's the natural thing. But every time I measured from there and then I put it on my foot, I would think, oh, I only have another inch to go. And then I'd actually try it on and I'd have like 2.5 inches left to go. So that it was really misleading, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure, I'm really not sure why, but I have finally...
I mean, with the garter heel, you're gonna measure from the tip of the heel.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, I finally just, I've been trying them on. I've given up trying to measure. I've been trying them on. I finally got to the point where it was at the base of my toe. I'm like, I'm ready to starting the toe now.
Are you doing her toe or the umbrella toe?
I am doing her toe.
Okay.
I'm doing this completely the way she did it.
Okay.
So there was that issue with the heel and measuring it kind of thing. So that was kind of an issue. I did not overly like the knit stitch for the trees to make the trees. That wasn't my favorite. And then if I am doing a vanilla sock, I wanted stripey. Doing just straight vanilla all the way down, I think it looks beautiful. I really do.
Boring.
But it's kind of boring. If you're changing colors, then that's something to look forward to.
It's great in front of the TV, you're watching podcasts or whatever.
Right.
But still, I want a little bit of something.
Right. So I do like a little bit of texture, even if it's like a 3x1 ribbing all the way down, because I love my 3x1 ribbing for a sock. I really do. I have done a couple of pairs where it's just 3x1 all the way down, and I really, really like the way it feels and the way it goes. So I do see that there's some issues with the sock.
My biggest issue with the sock is I cannot get my trees to line up with my bobbles. And it was driving me crazy because I had the same problem with the first sock.
Right.
And I thought I just screwed up something there. And I'm like, no, I did it exactly the same, according to the pattern. And I was getting very frustrated yesterday because I could not get the trees. I'm like, nobody else is having a problem. And I don't normally have a problem.
Did you figure out why?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't know how to read.
Okay.
What's funny is I don't know how to read both times I did this sock.
Oh my God. Because my tree's lined up.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, okay, Mary Beth's tree's lined up.
And she makes way more mistakes.
I should be able to make my trees line up. For the bobble,
yeah,
you know see where the star is?
Yeah.
I put the star here.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't do the knit 3 twice. I have double bobbles.
Oh, that's right, because I only have 4 going across.
Right. So see, hold yours
Look
up.
at that. Look at that.
So I have double the bobbles, so then I'm actually reading the pattern correctly to do the trees, and they're not lining up. And it's frustrating. Did I rip it back? I didn't. You're right, Spike, I did not. Because I'm not enjoying knitting these socks anymore, and I'm not ripping them back to do it again.
Okay, but can I say, I love the finished look.
Oh, I do too.
I really love the finished look.
I thought long and hard about ripping it back. I'm like, you love the finished look and blah, 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 blah. And then I thought, nobody's going to see the finished look.
No.
Because they're going to be under a pair of pants.
Right.
So no. I'm not ripping them back. I will have one tree.
On either side?
I'll have 2 trees. There'll be 2 because they're, it's every other bobble. The tree is going to be correct. So I'll have some that are right and some that aren't.
So you have
a little texture.
Light on the top, and then you have stars in between your trees.
Exactly. But then it was very frustrating, and it was extremely frustrating to realize that it was all my own fault. Because I was getting something wrong with the pattern, but everybody else figured it out, so So anyway, this is how far I've gotten. Rambling on. Last week I had just a little bit of my cuff done, so I have 2 more sections of the tree. Not sections. I'm in my 3rd section and I just have 4 more rows. And then I am done and I just go stocking that for the rest of my life.
If I'm not done these by the next podcast, I'm going to kill myself.
It's nice to be on the podcast.
But I am almost done. I have done my 3rd round of decreases, so I'm just about to go
it's
into
going to be,
decreasing every other row. So I should be done within the next day or so.
This is Tabitha Stanley. Dudley should show himself at some point.
All right, shawls?
Shawls.
All right, let me show my shawl because there's a saga that goes with my shawl.
There's always a saga.
I know.
Done. She makes mistakes. I don't make mistakes.
I am doing the 100 Acre Wood Shawl by Helen Stewart. I am using our Lost Words collection. I'm very sorry. I have a cat walking across my lap, and it is not easy to do this.
She can't believe you didn't have a towering thing for her to knock over.
All right, so here we go. All right.
Oh, so pretty.
I made a mistake because I didn't read it correctly, and I messed
when
up.
You think you know more than the designer.
I know, and it wasn't even so much that I really read it wrong. It was just I put in an extra yarn over. I think what it was I was tired and I was reading between 2 lines, and I kept going to one
also
line.
We were with our mother, and you can see where you picked it up. Your stitches were all backwards.
Where? Here?
See going across?
You're supposed to have that. That's part of the pattern.
Never mind.
Look at this. See, it's here.
Okay.
And here, look, see? In between each of the bees, there's...
She has 2 new shawls out. I want to knit both of them.
All right, so I had to take it all the way back to here because I had screwed up something. Actually, I took it back to just before the 2nd row of holes. Because I had screwed up something, and it wasn't so much that the holes were in the wrong place, I also had 26 extra stitches, which was a problem.
It's just a lot.
It's just a lot. And
that's
it's because...
I'll just knit 2 together next row.
And the thing is...
Watching your drink.
I know. The thing is, you're supposed to line up the top hole over the bottom 2 holes so it looks like a bee. So... having the holes misaligned really wasn't bothering me so much. It was the 26 extra stitches that was an issue. Yes, I know, she's weird.
She just stuck her paw in it. She's shaking her paw all over your stuff.
So now, I went back and did it, but obviously I also made a mistake on the bottom row because I know that the top row of holes was right, and now the bottom row, it still isn't lining up.
You have some very special bees.
I do, I have some special bees. So...
some of them don't have heads.
That's so much. That's not so much. They have
this
heads.
one, his head is all the way.
It's kind of on the side. That's all. I am not going back and doing this again because I don't mind it.
Again,
as long as I have
wrapped around your neck. Stop playing with the fruit punch.
As long as I have the right number of stitches, I'm okay. I'm fine. I've been counting periodically, and I am still fine. I have the right number of stitches.
Unless you have embroidery floss in your
I can't imagine that. Pretty sure there's a lot of dog hair in there too. So this is the way it looks right now. This is Dandelion Puff down here. This is Acorn from our Lost Words series.
So how much more do you have of Acorn?
I have about 4 more rows.
Oh,
however, it's all lace.
But then then you go into
Then I'm
Goldfinch?
going into Goldfinch.
Oh, good, because we need to show Goldfinch knit up.
Right. So I have done both these sections. I started with a 20 gram mini and realized that is not going to take me anywhere. So what I am going to do is I am going to start with a 50 gram mini with the Goldfinch and all the other colors. We are putting together kits to take to the shows with us, and they will be made up of 50 gram minis because 20 grams is just not nearly enough.
And 50 will be enough, and you'll have a little bit left over for your blankets and stuff.
I love this shawl. I love the shawl. I love the colors so much. So much. So very, very happy with this.
Stop it. Tabitha, Meredith's drinking fruit punch, and Tabitha is sticking her paw into it and licking her paw.
And shaking.
And then shaking it all over the place.
You're a weirdo. That is my shawl progress. Coming along nicely.
Okay, my shawl. I am working on the seal shawl, which is our project for our book club. It is by Nidhi Cancel. What is the shawl? I'm doing it in our lilac bus, which is totally blown out. Does that help? No.
Maybe holding it up closer.
No, that really. Oh, maybe
No,
that.
there you go. Look at
Okay.
that.
So that's our lilac bus colorway, and I just finished the middle section and started the final section. So the first section, you have the texture of the smaller little squares, and then you go into excuse me, bigger squares. You do a nice big section of that. And now I'm into, you can just see that the squares are now going to be double. So see these two
They're getting
squares,
even bigger?
Yeah, see these two squares become one square now in this section. So I haven't actually completed one whole square because it's also going to be double the height. So I'm going to do those. So I'll have 4 layers of bigger squares.
Okay.
And then I do my border.
This is so pretty.
It is. The pattern is great because it's excuse me. It's perfect for variegated yarn, whether it's lightly variegated like ours or a heavy variegation, because it lets the yarn shine, but it also gives you a little bit of texture and stitch work to keep it interesting for you, because generally the variegateds work great in stockinette.
Right.
Yeah. So that with a little bit of texture, it keeps you interested as the knitter, but it just it lets the yarn shine through too. So
This is gorgeous.
yeah.
This is absolutely stunning.
So I probably have maybe 30 grams left.
Do you think it's going to be enough?
Skein. I don't know. I have 72 rows of the one section, but I haven't got that many stitches.
So it may work.
So it may work. And it's a nice size, because usually I think, oh, one skein is not going to give me a nice size, but since it's a narrower shawl,
Right.
it's going to be a nice size as one skein.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It may have to be one skein in a mini.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
And oh, God, I love this color.
I know. That one came out so perfectly. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
On the note of the Lilac Bus book clubs, most of them went out earlier this week. The last couple are going out this week. Today, not this week. Because we were waiting for extras to come in.
The one last
extra piece. So those will go out today. So if you haven't received yours by like mid next week, please let us know. Because you should have.
Yeah.
That is my knitting.
All right.
All right.
Do you want to move on to cross stitching?
Sure. What are you doing? Are you going to go back there? Okay, go ahead.
We have to rearrange everything.
Spike has to make a nest.
He was on my feet to begin with, and then
behind.
Drew came and took over his spot, so he has now moved to the back. Wait, talk about cross stitch threads all over the place. All right.
It's just, I have learned, this habit is not a cheap habit. I thought, DMC floss, it's not that expensive. It will not be as expensive as knitting. That's a farce. And floss everywhere
We do have floss everywhere.
is a thing. But I just vacuum it up. It's like the cat hair and the dog hair.
Yeah. What would you like to start
Where
with?
shall I start? I will start with my Prairie Schooler.
Okay.
So this is the Prairie Schooler that I'm working on. And last week I just had his head here. I had the outline in his head. And look at this. Ta-da!
That is so pretty. I really liked the gray when it was just the gray for the outline in his head.
Right.
But then you throw in the color and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just
it's
so
nice.
pretty. So this square is complete. And now I'm going to move in and start doing the little intricate work between the two squares. So
That's what she's going into.
but I'm so thrilled with how that came out.
Oh, it is gorgeous. Stunning.
It is Prairie Schooler 194. I love it.
All right. Cheryl, one of our viewers, sent to us a whole package of really cool things, including some patterns, free patterns that are Brooks Books Advent calendars. And we each have been working on one. I have almost finished Fitzwilliam Frog. I need to finish
Look at the 11
outlining.
below that.
But other than that, I am done. So I'm really pleased with the way this came out. What we are going to do is we're going to get little 4-inch hoops and put them in 4-inch hoops and then have them to hang around the room as the days go on. So I think that is so pretty.
Yeah.
Love the way he came out. I love his look and I really, really love his mustache. He's got a very fine mustachio. So yes, this is Fitzwilliam. He is number 11. It's quite a bit of hair on him. Don't know how. Look at that. That pink is from her today. She's a menace.
She is.
An absolute menace.
We could curb it, but we choose not to.
Fitzwilliam, that's my first.
Okay, I chose Dunkin' Dog as my first. And there is Dunkin' Dog. And we are stitching these on 18 count Aida. I have to tell you, working in black, oh my God. I almost stopped. And then I'm like, it's a tiny little head, you can do this. So
It looks so good though.
it does. It looks
really
fantastic.
does look good.
So I've got his head, and I've just started his shirt. His shirt should be white, but since I'm stitching on white, I've decided to go with gray for his shirt because the white just wasn't going to show up. So, this is something that definitely has to be done in the daylight. Those are the tiny little squares. I do not know how people work on like the 28 count and 40 count linen. Are you blind or do you like have superhuman sight?
All right, so brooksbooks.com, brooksbooks.com, and it is BROOKES books.com, and you go to the freebie section and they have
With my needle.
all of these there for you to download. There are 25 of them.
Yeah.
So, and they're all free, so that you can get the whole thing and do it.
Yeah. So I try and give him a couple rows a day. One of the things is Cheryl sent us, she said, I don't know what kind of needles they are. We'll put it in the show notes. That like knitting, you choose, you're gonna have your favorite needles.
Right.
And she sent us a couple. And when I was having such a hard time finding the squares for the thing is, when you do your first row, it's no problem, but then once you get into several rows of the black, I can't see. So I tried one of the needles that she gave us, and it made a lot of difference. It's a smaller needle. It's a sharper needle than what we had been dealing with, and it really helped me find the holes of the squares and everything.
We should check Joann's and see if they have them.
Yeah, I was checking Michael's, and Michael's was carrying DMC, so I think
Okay.
Joann's like knitting needles.
Okay.
Carries just your generics.
We'll have to go find someplace that has.
I
good
checked on
ones.
Amazon; they have them. They're not overly pricey, but you're not getting 10 needles for
Right.
$5 or whatever.
My next project, this is a bag that we are going to have a small sampling of at our trunk show, and then we're going to have a bigger selection
By
at
the
later
way,
shows.
We have a trunk show this weekend at Yarnings
There you
in
go.
Skippack, Pennsylvania. This weekend, Saturday, March 23rd from 11 to 3.
Yeah.
So
We have cross-stitch bags. Yep. We are working on making cross-stitch bags.
Rabbit deliberately screwed hers up so she could keep going.
I made so many mistakes. So it's my first time making them. So you have your trial time where you're trying to get everything right and you make all the stupid mistakes. And hopefully then after that, it's a piece of cake. I am working on the winter cupcake.
Lolada shop.
I don't have a picture. I'm sorry. This is my thing. It's the pattern I'm going on. But this is how far I am. I was a little bit worried because a lot of it is tan, and I'm doing it against a tan background, so that I was worried it wasn't going to show up very well. However, after I thought and looked at it a little bit, I realized I'm going to outline just about everything so that you're really going to see the knitting needles and everything. But it has knitting needles sticking up out of it, and this is going to be a heart over here. And there's a ball of yarn on top of it, and then the brown down here is actually the icing of the cupcake, and then it will come down in a cupcake form down here. So I am working on this. Can you move it up forward so they can see?
They can kind of see.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look. I haven't put the top of the knitting needle on it, obviously, because it's like...
I think you have. I can see
No,
it.
I think there's a thing over here that's going to be finishing it. I have to put the weight in.
Oh, okay.
So that is where I am so far with this. I have to do this in the morning. Even I can get some done at lunchtime, but not very much. And once I get past like 4 o'clock, that's it. My eyes are too tired. I cannot get anything done on them. So that I am sparsing it out a little bit here, a little bit there, just because I really want to work on all the different projects, much like knitting. I want to start everything and work on everything. And so each day I try and do something a little bit different, but that's where I am so far. I'm liking the way it's coming out. And I'm really intrigued with the different color pinks and the different color browns and tans and how it just shows the shading.
The shadings, yeah.
So I'm really intrigued with that.
Did you say these were a gift?
These were a gift from Jen. Thank you very, very much. You are giving us hours and hours of pleasure because we are really enjoying it.
So I'm working on the spring cupcake. This is how far I have come on mine. And you can see... That's what mine's gonna look like.
You're kind of doing it.
Well, I'm trying to,
I know,
because I
but-
do that and then you get the glare.
Like that. There you can see.
So you can see where this is my frosting and everything. So this is the start of the DMC floss that's coming out of the side of it. So
You're going to have such pretty colors.
yeah, a lot of white, but very cool.
Yes.
So these are from Lola.
Oh, really?
Lada shop.
See, this is why you never let me on the computer. Because look, now I want to go get that.
She's some Christmas birds too.
Did you see him? I don't think you can see him. Anyway, it's a cat in a witch's hat, or actually a fox
You
in a
see
witch's
him.
hat.
You had him in the right way where you could see him. I mean,
And
look at
he's
this one.
sitting in a Jack Skellington mug.
Oh no, I don't like that one as much.
They are very, very cool, and we could just, go down this rabbit hole, so I'm going to close that up and give that back to you.
Oh wait, no, pull up my mice.
Okay.
So my last cross stitch is my mice. This is Chocolate Lovers by Lola Lada. Which Marybeth is pulling up. God, I know.
Oh my god.
Zoom down there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. There we go. So that is what she is working on? Oh no, that's totally blowing it out.
No, you can kind of see.
Yeah? Okay. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
So I have 2 done. I love them so much.
I know.
Oh my god, I love them so much. The personality in him, just leaning on his chocolate. And I have started the 3rd here, and then I want...
You can definitely see the beginning of him
Yeah.
because here's his ear and his hand coming up and holding the chocolate
Holding
like this.
the chocolate. So the chocolate is done, except for the back stitching. And then I've started his, this is, you can see, barely see the white, but he kind of goes white all the way down. So I love this so much. I can't wait to have it done and framed.
I think that may have to be out in the main area. You can't put that in your room.
Oh, no, I'm going to put it in the kitchen.
Oh, that's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect.
So,
So cool.
yeah. So, this is the one right now that I just want to work on all the time, and I give the others a little bit of love every now and then. And I am to the point, I am full and true down this rabbit hole. It's like, I was doing it to give my arm a rest as far as knitting was concerned.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, I should probably knit. I did so much of it the other day. I was like a little cross-eyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can only do so
What
much.
was it, Sunday that we were doing a lot of it?
Yeah.
So.
I was a little intimidated to begin with, but I've jumped in and I've started my Alice Carousel by Nimue. And I just, to begin with, I went through all the colors, and out of all the DMC floss that we have, I need 50 colors. We had 8. So I ordered a whole bunch by Stitch 1, 2, 3, and it wasn't coming fast enough. So
well, she wasn't okay. That's wrong. In this day and age of Amazon, where you order something from Amazon and it comes the next day, you get in the habit of it. It's terrible, but you expect everybody else to do this. So that when it actually, she took a weekend and did not...
Well, it's not only Amazon, it's as small business owners, and the fact that
we
constantly have your phone with you, because if you answer them right away, you have a better chance of keeping their business, so that Helen is constantly, we'll be having dinner and I'll look at her and really, you can't wait till after dinner. But it's one of those things where we try and answer things as quickly as we possibly can. So, and there are 2 of us, it's a small business. This is our life. This is what we have devoted a lot of our time to. And I understand that people do actually step back from their jobs. And I accept that. However,
it wasn't going fast enough for us.
It wasn't going fast enough for me. So...
And we decided that we'll get the order and we'll just have the duplicates, but we will use them for other projects.
We went to Michael's in Brick. And if you're anywhere near Brick, New Jersey, the Michael's is amazing.
I think it's a relatively new plaza. It's called Brick Plaza. We went there for the Barnes & Noble.
Because the closest Barnes & Noble to Long Beach Island is Bricktown, which is
like
ridiculous.
The closest bookstore.
Anyway, I went to Michael's. Look at all this floss. I found all, but I think 2.
Yeah.
I think I found all but 2 of them.
And we found the one that she didn't have, right?
I think so. I'm not sure.
But one rogue color.
Look at that. All this lovely color. And some of these colors are so pretty.
This one.
That one is really pretty. This one has a shimmer to it that I just love. It's a shimmery peach. It's so pretty. Cheryl, when she sent us our pattern, she also sent us some Aida floss, or some Aida fabrics. So I picked one. I picked a gray, and I have started, and I am just starting Alice's hair. So you can see here in the picture her blue hair, and that's where I am, and that's what I'm working on. Doing this against gray. I have to do it first thing in the morning because otherwise I get confused. And it's not so much that I'm getting confused, because when you look at it straight on, the boxes are very clear. But as Helen was saying, when you start putting in a row or two, then finding the second hole, like underneath the first row, I find it very difficult because it all blends together for me.
Yeah.
So whereas they look very distinct against the gray right now, it's still too close for me.
And we talked about it, and you're going to go on a little bit more, but not too far. And if it continues to be such a problem, because I was saying to her that she should change fabric. She should do a lighter fabric, and that it'll probably be easier on a lighter fabric. But there's a lot of, we were looking at a tannish
I have
fabric.
bug juice all over my fabric.
But you're going to be putting squares, floss over it. Anyway.
There's a tan fabric.
There's like a tea stain fabric, which would work, except that there's a lot of...
See the wheel?
Yeah, that's a lot of tan.
That's a lot of tan.
So she's going to have to do tan on tan.
So is it blue on gray or tan on tan?
Right.
You know, it's just... I don't think that there's anything...
I think a
maybe the
magnifying
yellow.
glass.
Oh my God. I don't want to be... We saw these at Michael's where you have... It looks like
It's like
a
a
jeweler's visor that comes
But
across.
it's like a metal vise that goes... I didn't think jewelers. I thought about when they used to drill into your head.
Oh my God.
But they do have the ones... like the one we have out on the porch. Where you
Yeah,
can
but I don't want to do it where I'm looking through a magnifying glass like that.
Yeah.
That's not fun for me. And this is supposed to
you
be
don't
enjoyable.
know until you try.
It's I know because I've
Old
taken out
lady.
stitches when I'm using my seam ripper trying to take out
Yeah.
tiny little stitches. I don't like doing that.
With the needle, it was better, right?
Yes, it was. So one of the things that was a little bit intimidating is this is the top of the pattern. This is the bottom of this is an
Well, it's all
pattern.
kind of... I mean, it's big enough that you can see it. So
This,
there's
like,
that.
yes, there is that.
But you don't want to... We're used to downloading the patterns, so you download them and you get your 8.5 by 11 page and you go that way. So you don't want to. We don't want to mark up the original.
Right. So I photocopied it and I'm doing it that way. And here's another thing that's a little bit difficult to follow. They have the backstitching stitches across the actual stitch, which is good when you need to backstitch, but when you're trying to figure out what color it is, sometimes the line comes down over, so I'm making a guess as to what color it is. Because like right here with her, the top of her shoulder, you'll see that the line is thick enough that it covers the actual picture of the stitch, so that trying to figure out what color it's supposed to be, I'm kind of guessing blind a couple of times. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference, especially since you're going to be putting a back stitch over it, but
It makes it difficult.
it makes it a little...
There's a lot of backstitching.
So that if you have just like a hair, I mean, if you have the wrong color there, you're going to be picking from colors that are surrounding it, so that maybe you have a slightly lighter blue than it was supposed to be. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but it is a little bit difficult to read. So, and right now this is just like a blur of dots and lines because I don't have my glasses on.
The first time we ran into it was with the Lotta shop. That was the first pattern we ran into with backstitching. So we just assumed everybody did it this way because she gives you this is the pattern that you do the actual cross stitching from. Then she duplicates it with your backstitching.
Right.
So that you work from this one for the actual stitching and then you go to this one to do your backstitching. We were gonna make this short and sweet and we've already rambled on for 40 minutes. Anyway, so you get the two and you're not having to worry about seeing. So,
Underneath the lines, yeah.
okay.
Do you have another cross stitch?
No, that is it for me.
We are done.
We are done.
Okay, all right. Well, we talked about going to Michael's, and we went to Barnes & Noble because we had our trunk show last weekend. And thank you so everybody who came to the knitting store on Long Island. We had a really, really nice time. And I think I maybe knit 4 or 5 stitches. That was it. It was busy, and that's a sign of a good show when you're constantly talking about yarn and patterns and things like that.
Yeah.
And people were excited about the shawls that we brought. We had a really good time with
It's nice to get out amongst the people.
Yeah. And driving out to Long Island was actually, other than driving across the George Washington Bridge and getting onto, just fighting the George Washington Bridge. Other than that, it was really, we had a great time at the trunk show. We had a really good day. So we decided, for people who might not have, if you're new, we played around with an idea briefly of getting an RV and traveling across the country. And we have
Can you imagine the George Washington Bridge in an RV?
However, do you know, I was thinking about it this morning, if we had an RV, we would not be worrying about Airbnbs because we had
what to do with the dogs.
We had an Airbnb lined up for Maryland for the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, and we had gotten everything, sent them the money and everything, and all of a sudden, a week and a half later, we got back from Airbnb. We've refunded you your money, and you no longer have a place to stay. And that's stressful. And if you had an RV, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Luckily, the place that we stayed in January when we went down to my brother's for a baby shower was open, and we really liked that place. So
yeah, it's a little bit further away than what we had, but
it will work anyway. So we played around with the idea of an RV, and we decided against it. However, what we did do was, when we were playing around with this idea, was get rid of all our books. Or a lot of them. Really, we pared down a lot of our books.
But we did that for the RV, and then we also, when we came here.
Right.
Because we were living in somebody else's house, so we don't get to put our stuff out.
So we are slowly but surely accepting the fact that we're not doing an RV, which means I get to buy books.
And it's not a slowly but surely, it was a...
So we went...
Jesus moment, I was like, yeah, that's just not going to work.
Helen decided it way before I did. Anyway, we went to Barnes & Noble and we bought some books. We had such a good time buying books. This is one that we have been wanting to read for quite a while.
So Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I've heard nothing but good things about this book.
I know. And it looks so good. This one is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre. I've been watching some booktubes and
hold it up so you can see the whole thing. There you go.
They've been talking about this one a lot. So I thought it's they're female assassins. Okay, it's just a
their daughters of death, which sounded really good. So and the booktube that she listens to, do you know who she is? No.
The Little Book Owl?
The Little Book Owl, okay. She gets a very reverent tune when she talks about Robin Lefevre's. So
this is one of Cassandra Clare's Dark Artifices of her Dark Artifice series. This is the first one in this particular series. So it's all about shadow hunters and half angels and things like that.
And we did the Shadow Hunters, which was like the first series.
Right.
And the first one was okay, and the second one was I don't think we actually even finished it. But same booktuber was raving about this particular series, so we thought, oh, okay, we'll grab it.
We'll give it a try.
Yep.
So we got that one. This one we picked up because we loved the cover, and we thought that it sounded like a really, really good idea.
I mean, there's the Lost Carousel of Provence.
Yeah, really. There's a crumbling chateau, and there's secrets hidden inside, and there's a lost carousel.
There's an antique carousel in it, so.
And one of my dreams is to have an antique carousel horse. So I think this is going to be really good. And again, look at that cover. And then we got this one, which is the book that I started. I have started reading this. This is The Book Jumper by Mathilde Glazer.
That sounded really good.
It's all about a family whose special ability is that they get to jump in and
interact with their books.
Interact with their books. They actually go into the world of the books. I have started this. I am kind of meh about it right now. I think part of it is a young adult novel, so it does not have as much meat as some of the other books that I've been reading recently. So that may be part of it. It's a really great idea. I am here. You can see where I am. So I'm that far. I'm working my way through it. I will have a better idea when I'm done. And then, as we were driving back from the trunk show, we were getting a little dozy.
It was, it's a 3.5 hour drive from us to Long Island. We stopped in Montclair to drop the dogs with my mother. So we had a break in the 3 hours, but we did it back and forth in one day. And that's just a lot of driving.
It is.
So I don't want people to think we're like narcoleptics or anything. We're
Right.
just always constantly falling asleep.
So I said to Helen, there used to be a thing that would be in brain teaser magazines where you'd have 52 C in a D or 8 S in an O, and you had to figure out what the letters meant. So 52 C in a D is 52 cards in a deck, and 8 S in an O is 8 sides in an octagon type of thing, and you have to come up with these things. And she went online and she found all these things that were really cool, and we were going back and forth. And once my mind...
She's so good at these things. I'm like, what the... I have to go through, I'm reading them, so I'm going through and looking at the answers ahead of time. Like, you're never going to get this. Okay, whatever.
But once my mind starts working, then I wake right up. It wasn't that I was actually falling asleep. It was that my mind was just kind of shutting down.
It was actually perfect because we were both. It kept us both going, and it was fun.
Right. It was a lot of fun that we were doing it. So when we were at Barnes & Noble, we looked for a book, and we got 399 games, puzzles, and trivia challenges specially designed to keep your brain young.
So we'll just throw that in the car and have it in the car.
Like here. Run the alphabet. Foreign cities. Can you come up with at least one non-American city for every letter of the alphabet? For an extra brain boost, see how many you can name in 2 minutes. So there's that. Or there's a laundry list. All of the 2-word answers in this game begin with the letters L and L, and one of them is a nickname for famous pilot Charles Lindbergh. Lucky something, I think. Anyway.
Where are the answers?
I think you have to go in the back to find them. So that they're all different things. There's some trivia information so that we're going to learn things at the same time. There, some things are like word puzzles, word finds, which you wouldn't do so much in the car. But, oh, here, look, see, like this. See the word shot in the black? So I'm pretty sure that's shot in the dark. So fun things like that.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of fun things. Compound words. You have to take all the different pieces and put them together to make a compound word. Again, maybe not what we would do in the car, but there are a whole bunch of things that you can do that have interesting information.
I mean, yeah, that page was October in history, so it's just taking all the
things that have happened
in, yeah.
But they ask you questions too, so that you've got to, we learned earlier, so these are all different names of cities, like the city of brotherly love.
It's Philadelphia, which is really a bit oxymoronic, I think.
Tinseltown, the Great White Way, the City of Light, or the City of Love. You know, all these different things that you have to come up with the answers to. Yeah. So we thought that this would be really fun. So we're going to stick this in the car and have it for when we're driving and we're getting a little bit down. All right, so here. Oop, nice big thing.
Give me Maryland.
Okay. And then the other thing we got while we were there. Excuse me.
This is for our no TV nights that we've been,
so good about.
Not so great about since we last chatted about it.
Anyway, what we decided was that we were going to cut back on our TV a little bit and just have like a game night type of thing. So we got bananagrams.
which we thought would be fun. It's been around for forever. We used to sell them in our shop, but we have never actually played.
Right, so we're gonna try this. And then we also got...
And then we got Quiddler, which is a card game, a word card game.
We like word games, as you can tell.
So this should be fun.
So we've got these to play with. We will give you reviews of these after we open them up and play them. And so should we finish up with books? Yes. What are you reading? I am reading The Book Jumper. I am also reading, I started rereading a series. I do this periodically, every few years. This is the Oversea Under Stone series by Susan Cooper. I love this. It's young adults, definitely. However, this one works for all ages. And it's actually the Darkest Rising series, and I absolutely love it. I come back to it over and over and over again. It's got, it's all set in England, in Cornwall and Wales, and the mystics and good versus evil, and Merlin shows up, and it's just, I love it. Absolutely love it. So I am reading this, I'm doing this series again. And then my audiobook, I just finished The Girl on the Train, which I liked very, very much as a book. I really did like it as a book. So now we have to watch the movie because I really want to see what they do with it. Very interested to see about that. But those are mine. How about you?
I am listening to Alice, and I am reading The Lilac Bus. So,
same as last week.
Same as last week.
Working way through.
Yes.
You haven't had a whole lot of sewing time, so you haven't had a lot of time to really listen.
No, I was sewing yesterday, so I got a little bit... That's a dark book, Maribeth.
It is. It's a very dark and twisty book. This is Alice by Christina Henry, and...
This is not for everybody.
But I have to tell you, it's grabbed me from the very beginning.
Because it is not something, generally when I reach certain points of this book, and a not as well written book, I would walk away.
Right.
I would just, no, I'm not reading about that. And maybe it's the audio part of it too, because the narrator is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. But
and there are certain things where they allude to things and you know what's going on, but they don't go into... she never goes into graphic detail.
No, and...
All right, so that is what... Oh, okay, so the booktubers, they've been talking about annotating their books.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it because I've been listing my books on Goodreads so that I have a track of when I started it and when I finished it. Because I've been pretty good about listing when I start.
General idea whether you liked it or not.
Right. But I haven't been doing anything like remembering certain things about it. And one of the things they were talking about when they annotate their books is that they underline and write in the books. And if you watched our episode from last week, you know how I feel about just bending down the corner of a page of a book. I don't think I can bring myself to underline or...
But getting over that little idiosyncrasy we have.
So they also use tabs. And they've got tabs all over showing where there were certain things that they liked in the book and that kind of thing. And I thought about doing that, and then I thought, A, the Kindle, and B, I'm usually reading at night, so that... Am I going to be doing that, type of thing?
I've never read that way.
Neither
have I.
Because
it's always kind of, then you're making it work.
So, and I think...
But then also I look back and I think, maybe if I had, I'd remember more.
Well, there's that also, a lot of them do it on the rereads. So that it's when they've already read it the first time and they're going back and rereading it a second time. Because then they're picking up foreshadowing because they know what's going to happen next or later in the book. So they know that this little bit is actually showing you something that's coming up.
Right.
Whereas if you're reading it the first time, you don't get that.
Yeah.
But there are certain times where there's a quote that I love. Or there's a question that I have. Or there's something that I got really angry about, and I'm like, why did they do it this way? Why did they pick that? Also, a big thing is characters. Oh, like, if you have a big cast of characters, if you're doing a Kindle, that's great because you can highlight it and then search back and see where they came in before. But if you're doing a regular book, so somebody suggested putting it on a note card and you just write out, actually, it was a booktuber, but They list their cast of characters on a note card and then they stick it in the book. And I was thinking about doing that, but then I thought, but then are you just going to have all these note cards that go with it? So this is my idea. I had gotten, and I think this is perfect for it, I had gotten this journal, which is the Marauders Map. It's a lined journal. I had started to write down a list of books that I want to keep in mind to read, but then I've been keeping it on my phone so that I'm just going to have that because I'm not going to have this at the bookstore. I'm always going to have my phone at the bookstore, so I'll always have that to look back on. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start using my journal. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cast of characters for it so that as I run into characters, I can have a page that's the characters. And then I'm going to have a page that's going to be if I have quotes or if I have questions or if there's something that I get upset about. And if I don't do it, I'll just keep this with the book that I'm reading. And then if I don't write it in that night, as I'm reading, hopefully I'll remember it the next morning and write it down then.
I mean, that's my biggest thing is my reading time is generally at night as I'm going to bed. And I'm literally lying down in my bed. And I'm not going to get up to write something down. So I was thinking about doing it in the morning, just kind of going back through what you read.
The 5 pages that I managed to stay awake for.
I mean, one of the things I want to start working into my day is more time to read. Even if it's like 10 minutes here or 10 minutes there. Because I am not getting through my books. Right. We just bought a stack of books, so I don't want to finish the book I'm reading because I want the bright shiny thing. Mm-hmm. Especially since I'm not as into the book as I could be. So, and would I be into it more if I could read more than 10 pages at a time kind of thing. So I just have to work more reading time in.
Yeah, well, it is, and you set aside a little bit of time that you're going to be able to read.
But I can't do the things I really like to do when I'm reading. So
the thing is, the audiobooks. I can cross stitch when I'm listening to an audiobook. I can sew. I can knit if I've got the.
But I also really enjoy reading a book.
So do I. I do. I like holding it. I like smelling it. I mean, we have done things where we have done. I do read on the Kindle a lot. But I also like holding a physical book. The only thing is, when I hold a physical book, I have to have a light on, which is, I said to Helen, oh, look, I have to turn my light on. How quaint. Because if you've got your e-reader, then you can just do it. The other thing, the one thing about doing it in the morning is I went to bed last night and I didn't have my book because I left it on the kitchen table because I had done the cast of characters. I have to remember to get it and bring it with me. Because the house is not that big. I could have gotten up and gotten it, but
once I'm in my bed.
But I had my Kindle so that I could read something there, so I was okay. All right, that is it as far as books for me. What about you?
That's it.
So here we go.
Okay, so you did your book annotating.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my thing because I've been doing floss tubes.
Right.
I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at her.
Okay.
I'm doing floss tube.
Yeah.
I have a very weird finger. Anyway.
Okay. I'm not sure where that came from, but go.
I don't know. It just looks weird.
Carry on.
And they're all talking about Stitch Mania.
Okay.
Which is
May. Right. May. Okay. Go ahead.
So, and this morning I was watching the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. And they were talking because I believe they've started the whole Stitch Mania thing. It's their thing. They do 1 star a day.
So by the time they're done, they have 31
starts. So
we're going to need a lot more paddles.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I can do this because Priscilla's a mother, and she says she just starts. She'll do like 5 or 10 minutes a day. That's her start, and then she'll go on and do the stuff that she's working on.
Okay.
Regularly, but she's started.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna have 31 starts. That's gonna be so cool. But now I'm never gonna finish anything. I have 31. I mean, so I'm kind of torn.
Okay.
Because I was looking at Halloween cross stitch patterns, and Mary was like, "Stop it," because we were supposed to be getting ready to podcast. But I'm like, but I want to have my 31 starts.
Oh man!
And they don't
I could get behind this.
I know, but they don't even have because somebody asked them, "Do you kit up completely kit up 31 projects. And they're like, no, that could get really pricey. So they figure I'm going to start in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to need these threads.
Okay.
And I have those threads. I'll go buy those threads.
Okay.
And when I need different threads, I'll either go to my stash or find what I need. But to get it ready to go, I mean, you're going to need the fabric, you're going to need the pattern, and you're going to need whatever thread you're going to start with.
Did I mention that I really like to spend money?
Right. And starting
some
things.
of our patterns are like $26 a pattern.
However,
that is going to get expensive.
If you do downloaded patterns and you do smaller things, because that's what I was looking for as the Halloween stuff, I was thinking the smaller stuff, because the other thing is both of them do generally smaller things.
Okay.
Because somebody was asking them, do you ever get the urge to do the whole full coverage
right
project? And they're like, no, they don't.
They do little bitty things.
They do little things.
So the Advent kits would be...
The Advent kits are perfect, but I don't want to start... I want to have different starts. I don't want to just have that be all my starts.
Oh, no.
So I was thinking Halloween, because the whole thing is we love Halloween.
Yeah.
And if you get little small Halloween ones, then maybe you could actually finish some of them for this Halloween coming up. And Christmas, too.
And I will say that we do have a bottle of cross-stitch
we do have a pile of cross-stitch
that
patterns,
we
but
have
some of
bought.
them are, I mean, you and I, we just jumped whole hog.
Yeah.
I mean, we have very
Intricate?
intricate patterns that are going to take a while.
But if you're just starting...
But if you're just starting them,
Yeah.
so we have to think about that.
Oh.
Also, we are fairly busy until 6th or 7th of May. What was that word you used?
But...
Foreshadowing.
But
after that. So
you
we could do it. And you could do it so that you'd start something.
You just have everything ready to go.
Right.
Absolutely ready to go.
And you just have you have to have it all planned out. So
I'm going to need
least,
31 bags.
At least, well, there's that. You need
And then I'm gonna
31
need-
bags, and then I need like 4 of the bigger bag to hold your 31 bags. And then you need all the fabric.
But
So
if
you
you're
need to
doing
know-
little things, you cut it down.
But you need to know which projects you're doing, so you need to know what kind of fabric you want. Do you want just the cheap Ada, or do you want to have nicer fabric?
Oh, this is going to take some thinking.
Yeah, so this is why I bring that
And
up
some
now.
searching.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of cross-stitch patterns out there.
And there are a
that I
lot of
really
small
wanna do.
ones. I mean, there are a lot of really cute, like little Halloween and Christmas and...
Yeah. All right. I'm on board.
Okay.
I'm good.
And you know how well we do with,
Follow through.
daily challenges.
However,
Hey,
can I
by
say...
the way, you notice we haven't talked about our craft project.
Well, no. Okay, so here's the thing with that. We need a little bit more time than a week. We have found the project.
I was going to go and cut the crocus and put it in shaved ice. Here you go. Crocus and stuff.
We have figured out our project. It's going to be beautiful. It's really,
Yeah.
really pretty. It's really interesting. It's just we haven't had a chance to actually do
And it was just this one, it wasn't like the windmills where we both latched onto something right away as to what we were going to do. It took us a little bit of time to come up with the plan. Hi, we're almost done. So we have the plan, we have the
Most of the things
materials
we need.
that we need.
We just need a
So
little bit of
hopefully
time.
it'll be done by next week.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody wants to know what we're talking about, Marybeth and I set a craft challenge for ourselves where we pick a topic suggested by you guys. And we were supposed to have it done in between each podcast.
But we have decided that
We're successful once.
yes, but we waited 2 weeks to podcast.
Right.
So we decided that we're going to do it every 2 weeks
Yeah.
because we need 2 weeks with everything else that we have going on. We need 2 weeks in order to do it. So we are going to do it every 2 weeks. And next podcast we
We
should
should
have
have it. So, okay.
All right.
So anyway, foreshadowing. We got in the mail the book for Maryland Sheep and Wool. And it's very exciting because,
on page 723.
well, 203. 203 on the list of vendors, in very tiny print, you will see Toad Hollow. We're outside in booth LC18. So
Okay.
if you are coming to Maryland Sheep and Wool, come find us.
I believe Elsie is Lower Corral,
Yes, we are out by the dogs.
which for us,
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, what a shame. So that's that. We have our trunk show this weekend at Yarnings. And then 2 weeks from yesterday, we leave for It's shocking that it's only
close.
2 weeks away. We leave for Chicago for YarnCon.
Yes.
So those of you who are going to YarnCon,
Please come find us.
please come find us.
One of the things we will be having at YarnCon
We will. Yes, you
is what we're wearing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to go into what we're wearing.
Yes. So I am wearing the Lost in Time shawl that Helen made. That is gorgeous.
I made this about probably 2 years ago. This is the crochet. It's by Miho Crochet. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Lost in Time.
So pretty.
And
Every time she wears this, she gets comments about it and questions about it. And
people
are
have
we
asked
going
us
to ask-
several times to
are
make
we
up
making
kits.
kits? And the answer is now we are.
Finally, the answer is yes. So
Oh my god.
this is the kit we made up, which is a fairly close approximation of how I crocheted it up. So you get a full skein at the green, and then there's like a little blue, gray, purple, gray with specks of all the different colors, and then this like gray pink.
Since this is the Lost in Time, we are going to be basing these colors around Outlander.
Yes.
The
So
Lost in Time.
we just haven't named them yet.
Yeah,
We
this
picked
is
the colors
Lollybrock.
first.
That I
Okay.
know.
Never mind. Lollybrock.
But
Um,
the others, we
So
will
you
be
get the
working
full
on.
skein, and then these are 50 grams skeins, and this will be enough to do a fairly good size Lost in Time show.
We are going to have these at Skipack at Yarning, so we will
Yeah.
have this kitted up, and then we will be putting them up online to purchase on Sunday.
And this is a crochet pattern.
This is crochet. And then, what are you wearing?
You sound like Fiber Hustle.
I know, I sound like Chip and Aaron from Fiber Hustle, but
Which, if you guys need a good podcast to watch, go watch Fiber Hustle. This is my anemone shawl.
now quite a few of you have already gotten this
Right.
already.
This is hi. This is also a free pattern on Ravelry, and we kit these up last year, and Yarnings actually asked us to kit them up again. So, and with summer coming, we decided to do again. So, same colors, just a little bit of a lighter version. They're not as saturated as the first version. So New Jersey Beaches is our main color, and you get the full skein of that, and then everything else is a 50-gram skein. And they're all named after our Jersey Shore towns. So
We have Asbury, Point Pleasant, LBI, Seaside, LBI, Sandy Hook,
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant.
So with your neutral. So those will be at Yarnings as well, all kit up, and again, hit the website early next week. We also have, because somebody asked us about it, the house colors for Harry Potter. We re-dyed up, and we had them last week at the knitting store. I'm just draping this myself. And we will get them up online next week too.
We also have re-dyed the Lost Words, and we are going to have mini kits. So if anybody's looking for the mini skein kits, we are going to have those, and anything that's left over will go up online. We
Also
have
the
the full skeins,
50-gram kits.
and the 50-gram kits for the shawl, for the 100-acre wood shawl.
And all of the collections have mini skein kits to go with them.
Right.
So those will all.
So we have mini skein kits for our Harry Potter potions. We have a new line of Harry Potter, not only the house colors, but we have a new line that are all based around Birdie Spot's every flavor beans. So we have those.
Right, because that's for the Spice Market kit. We'll have cross-stitch bags.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So there's going to be a big update next week.
Yes. And we will do all that and then in preparation for YarnCon, we will be dyeing everything all over again because we want to have lots and lots of yarn for that. So that is what we are planning. We, in preparation for getting all this stuff done, we are planning to go to Joann's today because we need lots of inside fabric for our bags.
For that, and we just need, it's like we're going to go to Joann's, get everything we need, and then we are locking it down after Saturday.
Yep. All right. So one of the things that the last thing we've been talking about is we've seen a whole bunch of people starting to do advent calendars. And we have been going back and forth as to whether to do another advent calendar.
These are yarn
dyers.
Yarn dyers putting up their listings for their advent mini sets.
And also some of the dyers talking about it on their podcast as to whether they're actually going to do it again.
Right. And we have gone back and forth as to whether we would do ours again. We've done it for
2 years.
3 years?
2 years, I think. I think we only did 2.
Okay, 2 years.
A lot of time goes into it. It is a very time-centric pattern.
It's a very time-consuming thing at a very busy time.
However, I think as we were going back and forth and saying, do we want to do this? Do we not want to do this? We came up with an idea that we're really kind of excited about. So I think we are going to do it. So we will be listening it, but not for a while yet. Just
not until after Maryland. It's too early.
And
we're not going to do anything about it until then.
So
but the idea is there.
And so if you are interested, because we have had people ask us, are you going to do one? Yes, we are doing one. And it will be going up probably in early June.
Yeah.
Late May, early June, we will be putting it up, but we will advertise the hell out of it to let you know.
And it will be slightly different than what we've done in the past.
Right.
There'll be the minis, but there's going to be some other stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
We've got things going in our heads. All right, so that I think is it. That is all that I had. Do you have anything else?
I am done. This was
you're
going to be a
good.
quick podcast.
Ha ha ha.
I think
Like
we're an
that will
hour and
ever
20 minutes. I had a hell of a time saving it last week. So
we are going to get going.
Yes.
We've got lots of stuff to do, and I believe it started raining, so that's fine.
Oh, and we also have flooding to contend with, so we have to get out of here, and so we can get back before the island goes underwater.
Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful week, everybody.
Yes.
Happy crafting, and
Go
forth and create. Bye.